You don't squeeze them in.
It says it's a very bad connection.
Oh, shoot! It's also very bad.
Do we get something to prop it up?
Yes, we have to have something. Not quite. Just something to prop that up now. Gabe, yes, bring that back. There. Sorry, guys, we're trying to get the camera fixed here. We were ready with the laptop. There's that piece of paper in the way. But the laptop, for some reason, wouldn't work. We had to change and go to the cell phone and get the tripod real fast. And so anyway, looks like I'm working. Looks like we're way too...
That's okay.
Way too high. I don't want 16 feet above my head there. How's that?
Way better.
All right. Fairly centered and in the middle. Yay.
So. I just got to find where to find you on a computer.
Oh. Okay. Sorry, there's quite a bit going on right now, so in a minute we'll have things put together and a little bit calmer.
Aha. Popped up. Live now. There we go.
So it is recording?
Okay, I'm going to have to turn it down. Yes, it's recording.
All right. And now we're live on my computer.
Kevin S. says, chop the beard.
Yeah. Hey, guys. All right. Looks like we're actually up and running for sure. And so good evening to everybody. I'm so glad that you guys are joining in. And I know some of you will be joining in as we go along here. Sorry about the quick delay. We were hoping to do this at 6:30, but today is super special, and that is it's Halo's birthday. And so she wanted to go hiking today. So we went for a hike, and we'd already planned on making some sausages and green peppers and onions tonight for supper. And she made an amazing potato salad. Long story short, it took longer than we thought, so we needed a few extra minutes. So it's been kind of hectic, a little stressful. Teresa's sister just came by and husband and their kids to say happy birthday. And anyway, we had to say, you guys have to leave because we're going to do this live Q&A. So anyway, all right, to big breath, and we'll do this thing. So I'm super excited to touch base with all of you viewers after my Appalachian Trail through hike. And we've already got quite a few questions. Several people commented or got a hold of us with questions because they were not going to be able to be a part of this live Q&A tonight. So we'll have some questions that we can fill in some spaces with, and I can get started that way. But first of all, Kevin, chop the beard. I waited until Caleb's birthday party, and everybody could come up and see me with long hair and a long beard. And then the next day, the haircutting place in town was open. Went in and chopped it off. You can see video of that on my channel. I think it's the latest video that just came out today.
Returning to Civilization.
Returning to Civilization. You can see the haircut and joint and the lady cutting it all off. So find that video and watch it. All right.
All right, ready for a couple of questions?
Start popping up questions whenever you have one, and we'll try to get to it as soon as we can. Halo's beside me, and H2O is beside her. He's over here in case you have questions for either one of them also. So they're available. All right.
It's a delay, and so it's kind of funny watching you do it and then seeing it over here on this computer. All right, anyway, first question that we got was, Tim says, think you can be civilized now?
Yeah. Yeah. After being out there and being back in civilization, I'm ready to be kind of uncivilized. We'll see. All right.
Alrighty. First question about your shoes. Keen shoes.
Oh, all right.
30 miles.
I mentioned, or maybe Halo put in the videos about all the different shoes that I wore. I started the AT at Springer Mountain in a pair of Keens. I love Keens. They're wide. I've got real wide feet. And so I had hiked probably 50 miles in those shoes before I got to the trail, and they'd been flawless. However, when I started in the more mountainous terrain, maybe is all I can think, I had maybe laced them a little too tight. Long story short, I got some bruises on the top of my right foot. Some of you that watched the beginning may remember those videos as I talked about the pain in the top of my right foot. I opened up the laces and it helped a bunch. But when I got to Neil Gap, I tried on some different shoes, which happened to be oboes, and they felt even better. So I went ahead and switched to the oboes there. The Keens would have lasted who knows how long. They're great shoes. I wore them last night when I went out fishing. It just happened that I switched because of that pain in the foot, because of the way I laced them. Switched to the oboes. Hopefully you know the rest of that story. They lasted me a long, long time. I'm a big fan of the oboes. However, in Harper's Ferry, I did switch to the Ultra Lone Peaks. And wow, I'm definitely, when I'm going fairly ultralight, I'll be wearing Trail Runners and probably those Lone Peaks all the time. Huge fan of those. Hopefully that answers the question. The Keens are great shoes, and I'll buy more in the future. Just for what I was doing, they didn't quite work as well.
Okay, Brenda wants to know, what is your best memory from the trail?
Oh man, I wish I'd have known that one.
Okay, think
a little more ahead of time. Well, the best, because a lot of times the first thing that pops up is like the most real. The best memory of the trail, hands down, is Pristine, H2O, and Halo and I all being at the northern terminus of the AT, Baxter Peak at Mount Katahdin, at that sign together. My favorite photo is me on the sign with them at the base of the sign. That is the best photo. I mean, that's the best memory. It was maybe the most stressful because I was so concerned about trying to get them all up the mountain and back down safely and before midnight. I just wanted to go to town and eat supper and get a shower. Anyway, it was also one of the most stressful. But truly, as I'm removed from the trail a little further, now it's been about 3 weeks, Maine is pretty great memories. One night, Halo and I camped right on the banks of one of the huge ponds with the sunset and the loons calling. That was pretty awesome. We had already been nearly skinny dipping in the pond, and there were some people around, so we couldn't do the full Monty.
And
it's hard to keep clothes on Halo anyway. But that was some of the best memories too. I mean, some of the hostels when you're hanging out with all these other hikers, especially the one in Monson, begins with an S, Shaw's. Shaw's that night, man, there were so many through hikers, and we'd all been together for so long. That was awesome too. So many, I mean, all the times with Kerdog, great memories, all the meals we ate, just camping alone, way away from the shelters and places. I just loved some of the stealth sites, truly a stealth site that I found a few times, and just, I don't know, waking up and hearing the birds calling. I don't know.
Okay, speaking of Kerdog, why don't you address Kerdog now? Had a couple people ask how he's doing. And
all right, Kerdog is doing real well. He started running again, so you know that his ankle is doing a lot better. Kerdog, his wife had her gallbladder taken out a week and a half ago. She's doing a lot better. They went to visit one of their sons, or two of their sons actually, in Oklahoma. So they've been traveling and getting ready to go on a cruise pretty soon. So he's doing well. He is beginning to train for a marathon. So he's starting, like I said, to run again. And I think he's doing fairly well. Some of you have asked if he's going to complete his trail journal, you know, update it or whatever. I sent him a text. I don't think we've heard back. Oh.
Yeah, he said that he needs to get back to it.
Okay.
He hasn't looked at it for a while. So.
All right. Yeah, so hopefully I'll prod him and get him to finish it. How about that? And then as far as completing his through hike or whatever, as far as I know, he has zero plans to go finish Maine. And after seeing the video climbing Katahdin, I don't think he'll want to do that. So I don't believe he has any desire to go finish it. He hiked the AT. That's finishing the last little bit was not one of his top priorities. So he got some experiences that he wanted, and I missed not having him around, but I don't think he missed not finishing. So hopefully that answers your question about Kerdog.
I'm sure he missed you too.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah. All right. What was your base weight at the end, including food and water?
Okay, base weight. So I didn't have a scale. Base weight. Yeah, that's a different one than total pack weight. Let's talk total pack weight because, well, that's base weight is without food and water and without fuel. And since I was stoveless, I didn't have any fuel, but food and water is definitely the big variable. And at the end, when you're in like the 100-mile wilderness, you've got a lot more food than you would when you're, say, 30 miles or 40 miles between towns. So basically, I tried to keep my pack weight under 25 pounds most of the time. And I would say at the end with maybe... because the only thing I had different, see, we had crazy warm weather at the end in Maine, like breaking records, heat wave. So I wished I had my summer quilt instead of my 20-degree Z-Pack sleeping bag. But I did have a little more cold weather clothing, warm clothing in my pack, which bumped me up from roughly 19 and a half pounds to probably 22 pounds maybe total. With depending on the amount of food and water. So somewhere around 22, 23 pounds total. My base weight would have been in the 12-pound range roughly with the heavier bag and base layers and stocking caps, gloves, things that you should need in Maine at the end of September, but that I didn't.
Angela wants to know, what do you get at the end after you've summited? Is there like a...
Oh, like a trophy or, a big steak dinner. Or whatever.
Certificate.
No, what you get, you get is like a 5.5 mile hike down the mountain that is incredibly painful. And no, you get a lot of satisfaction, that's for sure. But climbing Katahdin, that's only halfway. Then you have to get back down the mountain, which we don't talk about very much. Does she mean like a certificate?
Yeah, like from the ATC
so
kind of a thing.
I saw a guy, I don't know. I saw a guy on a video the other day open up this like certificate and he says, hey, I'm proud of this, whatever. It looked like it might have been a completion certificate. So probably some of you viewers know more than I do. If that's available, I need to send for it or whatever because I'd sure like to have it.
Yeah. There's a form to fill out. You have to download it and fill it out, and I just haven't done it yet.
So there is a certificate? Okay. I'm keeping some of the little souvenirs, like the summit card from Baxter State Park. I kept that. I kept the paper from the Shenandoah National Park. I kept my little spoon from the half-gallon challenge. Some of those type of things. Oh, my tag from registering for the thru hike. I'm keeping that. And when I go around and speak, I'm going to lay those things out so people can see them. So I need to get that certificate.
What did you do to prepare for the hike?
Ooh, preparing for the hike. I've watched other people's videos and they say, oh, you don't need to prepare, just go out and hike and the trail will prepare you. I totally disagree. The trail will kill you. How about this? A little bit of a compromise. The trail, the more you can prepare for the trail will help you enjoy the trail more from the beginning and possibly prevent any unnecessary injury or fatigue that will maybe demoralize you or cause you to lose some friends that you were hiking with. The bottom line, I am a huge proponent of getting in shape before you do anything like this, especially through hiking the trail. So what I did was I ran a lot. The last few weeks before I was running anyway. It just so happened Lord was preparing me and I didn't know it, but I was running up to around 25 miles a week. So I was doing up to maybe 8 or 9 mile long runs and 3 to 5 or 6 miles every day, every other day. So I ran a lot, which helped toughen up my feet and my ligaments. I would definitely recommend getting to where you can hopefully jog and run. Build your lung capacity for climbing those mountains. So I think I was in as good or better shape than most anybody when I started the trail that was around me. So, and I'm not one of these huge mile guys. Those guys are different. They're very special, and I'm not.
What was your most Jack from Facebook wants to know, what was the most challenging section?
Ooh, okay, good question. Let me go back to the training real quick. I did planks, and I like doing planks. I think the more core exercise you can do, the better. Push-ups. I hate sit-ups, so I didn't do very many sit-ups, but I tried to do 20 or so, a night when I would be working out. But push-ups, I did a lot of push-ups. That upper body strength and using your trekking poles, I think it all helps. Plus, I was going to the gym and doing real lightweight workouts, total body workouts. Forgot about that.
Yeah, I forgot
so
too.
all that was to try to get in better shape physically, just for me. And then here God says, oh, by the way, you got to go hike the trail. So it worked out very well. Thank you, Lord. But anyway, the more you can do, the better. That I'm a big believer in. Okay. And hiking, of course. If you can hike any hills with your pack, that's very good.
Yeah, with your pack is a
with
big
your pack.
deal.
Your pack loaded with as much of your gear as possible, so you know how to pack it, what carries well. But you've got plenty of time on the trail to work those things out. So, all right. Hopefully that answers.
All right.
What was my favorite set? No.
Jack wants to know, what is your most challenging section?
The most challenging section, bar none, far and away, is Maine. Hands down, no questions asked. The White Mountains are very challenging. The thing about the White Mountains that made it maybe even more challenging was the huts and the very, very limited places you can camp. That made the White Mountains difficult because you had to do either a 12-mile day or like a 20-mile day. And you kind of had to plan that ahead and plan your food, etc. So the Whites were beautiful. It's the first time you're above tree line, which made it so amazing. It wasn't as hard, but you enter Maine, you leave New Hampshire and hit the Maine border, and you're super excited, and 0.4 miles later is maybe the steepest, most dangerous cliff on the whole trail. Multiple people, young Gandalf fell and was injured. The guy named Socks fell there and was injured. The guy on Gut Hook that raided the shelter.
Yeah, he fell down that same spot.
What was that? Anyway, whatever the shelter is right there, Carlos Call Shelter. That guy fell 15 feet, couldn't believe he didn't die. So Maine is the most challenging. It's probably the most beautiful. It and New Hampshire, neck and neck. Maine may be more beautiful because of the mountains, but also the ponds, and the trees were changing, and it's just pretty epic. So Maine is the toughest, but my favorite. Now that I'm removed from it, it's my favorite. On the trail, hated Maine. Yeah. Everybody hated. All the thru hikers hated Maine. We just wanted to be done, and Maine was trying to kill us. I joke, about that on my videos a lot. So.
Okay.
I better make my answers shorter, or we'll run out of time.
Yeah, no kidding. James Barr is from Decatur. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Hey, James, that's awesome.
Masters Ministries wants to know if there's anything you would have done differently.
Oh, yeah, a lot. If I would do anything differently, the first thing I would do differently is I would start earlier, and I would take it slower. I would enjoy swimming more. I would enjoy the side trails. In fact, Halo and the kids, wanted, probably past tense, but wanted to thru hike the AT also. After doing the Maine with me, she's pretty good not thru hiking now, I think.
I just won't do that section ever
But
again.
Anyway, yeah, ever again. Anyway, where was I going with? Oh, so if I ever would do the AT again, I would go slower. I wouldn't work as hard at it. So I attacked it pretty hard and really set hard goals and pushed hard to get there. I would probably just chill out a lot more, and smell the roses, as she says. Yeah. I would start earlier so I had more time. I wouldn't want to do a flip-flop if I could help it, because Summit in Katahdin to finish is so epic. You hate to finish at Harper's Ferry, walk up and touch the building. It's maybe a little anticlimactic compared to climbing Katahdin. So anyway, I would definitely take it easier and enjoy it, knowing that you can do it. Just relax and enjoy it along the way.
All right. The cross necklace you wore.
Okay. Ooh, I wish I was going to bring it to show it. It's super cool. The guy that I met at that lookout tower on top of the cabin, that's not an official AT shelter. It's a private property, but they let hikers stay. I don't even remember the state.
I think Vermont.
Vermont. That sounds right. I think it was Vermont. Anyway, I met a young man up there that was a southbounder, and I think his name was Triumphant, if I remember right. And he was a follower of Jesus, and he wore this necklace. I didn't know this at the time, but he had this necklace on. It's a small wooden necklace, and it's sitting kind of sideways, and he's wooden cross. And I asked him, I said, so what's the deal with your necklace? Because I want to see, what do people say? How do they answer about Jesus? Because that's who I am. So I asked him, tell me about your necklace. And he takes it off and hands it to me and proceeded to explain a little bit about his faith. And I tried giving it back to him because I said, look, I'm definitely very passionate about the gospel and about the resurrected Lord Jesus. And you could give that to somebody else. And he says, no, if somebody asks me, I need to give them the necklace. So he gave me that necklace and I kept it. I wasn't going to give it to anybody else. So I wore it a few times, but I didn't want it to get too wet and swell and not be able to come apart, because the cross piece comes apart from the upright piece. And that's how it attaches around your neck. It's super cool. I wish I had it to show you. It's downstairs. But anyway, that's the necklace.
All right, how are you feeling now? How are your legs, feet, all that?
I wish I could say great, but I'm not. My knees hurt. So one thing is I'm not taking any ibuprofen. And vitamin I is pretty essential on the trail for younger middle-aged guys like me. Pretty important. And so I'm not taking any ibuprofen. And consequently, my knees hurt. I went out and walked and ran 2 days ago. It was really the first time I've done much walking since the trail. We walked in Maine a little bit, but not much. So anyway, I went out 2 days ago, and dang, if it didn't hurt. My knees hurt, my feet hurt. I did it. I was able to run like 3 miles and a little over 3 miles. But boy, the next day, yesterday, stuff hurt that... Anyway, and we hiked today. It hurt about 5 or 10 minutes, but then I got kind of limbered up, and then later on I started kind of hurting again. So yeah, I think it's going to take a little while to recover, but overall I'm definitely moving way better than I was right after the trail. But I think it's just going to take a little longer. So feeling okay though.
I wanted to congratulate you on your successful through hike. I so enjoyed watching all your videos while I was on the treadmill training for my half marathon. You're such an inspiration. Nice. Welcome home. We used to do the same thing.
Yeah. When I was working out at the YMCA in Canton, I would take my tablet along and watch other through hikers' videos as I did the elliptical or ran on the treadmill. To help kind of inspire me and whatever. So I'm glad that the Lord has used me to inspire you also. Thanks for coming along, and keep it up. We've run 2 half marathons and would like to run some more in the future, but I got to get these knees recovered. My knees didn't even really hurt on the trail, but post trail, squatting on the ground and getting back up, I have to gear up and suck it up because it hurts.
All right, Tim Everett, can you talk about your vision? Mm-hmm. And did you have any problems staying on the trail or seeing the blazes?
Oh, yeah.
I'm legally blind and would like to hike the trail.
Oh, dude. Comment somewhere. Halo can tell you how to... You and I need to talk like on the phone, because it depends on where you're at with your vision. So I'm legally blind. My acuity is right around... Well, depends on... If I can look straight at the letters, I'm over 2200. But if I look out of the corner of my eyes, I can see possibly as well as around 2070 or 2080-ish. But that's out of the corner of my eye. No depth perception. It's not reliable. It changes constantly. If I move, it's at least as bad as my central vision. Maybe worse because your peripheral's weird. I don't know if that makes any sense to you, but the bottom line is I've kind of got donut-shaped blind spots in my vision. The central is really bad. The peripheral is pretty bad, fairly bad. So I can see, sometimes it's surprising what I can see, and sometimes it's shocking what I can't see. So lighting, it's very dependent upon lighting, upon how tired I am, lots of different factors. So I didn't have too many problems navigating the trail in the woods if you pay attention and you kind of get a sixth sense about where the trail goes, etc. Except for like New York, parts of Pennsylvania, the bald spots on the top of the mountains, and the really bouldery areas. Sometimes they didn't blaze those very well. And that was difficult not only for me, but even for other through hikers. There were times when Kerdog and I, or 2 or 3 or 4 of us, would split up and all go different directions to try to find the trail. So I had difficulty navigating some spots, but so did a lot of other people. So it's just not always the easiest. What was the other part to the question? Navigating and
staying on the trail and seeing the blazes.
No, now, right now, there's a lot of leaves falling, and it was that way at the end up in Maine. It was a little harder to follow the trail when it's covered in leaves. And for me, when that happened, oh boy, I'd be in big trouble because it all looks the same. Because I need contrast in order to pick it out. So anyway, hopefully that works. But for you, Tim, I'd love to talk with you personally and talk more about the reality of doing the trail, because you may very well be able to. But boy, let me tell you, it can be dangerous in places. So anyway, love to talk more.
Send, if you have Facebook, send him a private message on the Not By Sight page.
Private message, Not By Sight, Facebook, and I'd love to talk with you whenever I can. So,
Masters Ministries wants to know if H2O is inspired to take up hiking.
Well, here he is. Can you lean over?
He can.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm definitely not afraid of it anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier. Definitely.
Yeah, we went out today, and I was pretty proud of him. He did
we
the
made
hills
him.
well.
We made him carry more weight than anybody else. So I called him the pack mule. After killing Katahdin, he's quite the hiker. So.
Carrie wants to know, if you could only hike 100 miles of the trail, what section would you do?
Oh,
He's thinking about doing a section next year. He's 55
Man.
and still thinking about giving it a try.
All right. Probably, if you're looking for something that's maybe a little bit better terrain or easier terrain, Vermont, especially where it leaves, where the long trail leaves, and you get back to just being on the AT, I think a lot of us thru hikers really liked Vermont. The beginning was muddy, so I was northbound, so the southern end was pretty muddy, and it rained like every day for 5 days. But after that, it got pretty nice. And I really liked Vermont, knowing that it's purposefully not blazed very well and purposefully not maintained very well. Vermont's claim to fame, if you will, is it's more of a wilderness experience. I didn't know that going in, and for a thru hiker, you just want it to be easily marked so you can fly. You're covering distances. You don't want to be wandering around. It's just killing your speed or whatever. Anyway, I liked Vermont a lot. Definitely. I mean, if you're in really good shape, New Hampshire.
He's wondering about Eastern Tennessee.
Oh yeah, I mean, like the Smokies was super cool. You're limited there because of you have to stay in shelters. Personally, Virginia, almost any part of Virginia, I loved Virginia. I really loved those middle states, the Mid-Atlantic. Like I loved Massachusetts and Connecticut. I liked Massachusetts because you started getting back into the mountains. They weren't huge yet, but you were out of that kind of flatter, more flat lowlands, not flat, but the flatter lowlands area and back up into the mountains. So I don't know. Ask on, if I didn't answer your question enough.
A lot of people do Shenandoah.
Yeah, I wouldn't do the Shenandoahs. Too many people, too much traffic. I would personally go for much more of a like a wildernessy type experience. Maine, if you're in good shape, you can do like that last 100 miles. You get the mountain ranges, and then you get some pretty good trail for a while also, and it's certainly pretty epic. So there's a lot of stretches. Yeah.
Yeah, he's thinking Tennessee, and so it's
okay. Tennessee was cool. To tell you the truth, it was so long ago, I don't remember all what it was like. So I want to go back and watch the videos.
He says you answered my question.
All right, cool.
We started going back and watching some of the videos.
Yeah, we've been pretty busy, and now we're getting ready to leave. I got a lot of speaking engagements in the next like 2 weeks, and so we're getting ready to leave the state even. So not had a lot of time to watch videos.
Okay. Kevin wants to know how many miles we drove back and forth from the trail. Oh. I am telling you what, it was great when he was down south, because from central Illinois down south, there are great roads, interstate's great. So it was pretty flawless, and easy driving there. But man, once he got up into the northeast, up around Connecticut was a little bit, we left him at the Connecticut-Massachusetts border. And so that was a little bit of a drive. Pennsylvania, no offense, Iceman, oh my goodness, it was so boring and so long. But then going out to Maine. Oh, that one was a long drive.
Any idea how many miles?
I don't.
I know our Suburban turned over 200,000 just the other day, and so we put a lot of miles on it.
Didn't always take the Suburban just when the kids were with us, but yeah, it was a lot. There were long drives. Like I said, when we were in the South, it wasn't so bad.
A lot of miles.
Anyway, yeah.
Not sure how many.
Too many.
A lot of...
Way too many. Pink Ribbon Walking Woman wants to know.
Cool. Hey.
If you would ever consider leading a section hike.
Yes. Yep. How's that?
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah, we would love to. Yeah, I would love to, and we've really kicked around the idea of. I think there's a need, or could be a role for somebody to do some guided trips, and yeah, I would love to. So
that'd be fun.
Get a hold of me. Yep, we can put something together.
Root Beer says, "Hey."
Oh, hey, Root Beer.
Okay.
Did he get the summit? I'm assuming you did. You were so close, but I didn't see you the last few weeks. So let me know when you summit, what date you summited, because that's cool. I'm glad you're around, buddy.
All right. James Barr says, "Thank you all so much. I followed you from the time you were hospitalized in Georgia."
James.
He's the guy from Decatur.
Oh, okay.
And I wrongly predicted you wouldn't make it. Okay, I was worried when he was hospitalized that he wasn't going to make it.
Well, hospitalized is not the... I had to drop in to get a shot of anti-inflammatory and muscle relaxer.
Hang out in
a
the
few
ER
hours,
for a little bit.
A few hours and then I'm gone. But it just takes a few days to get better. Yeah, when my back wigged out on me after 70 miles, I was worried, how many more times is this going to happen throughout the rest of the trail? But I really think at least my back issue is related to my hamstrings being tight. And so I really stretched them a lot and basically had no more back issues. The only other issues I had were when we got off the trail for the wedding and came back.
Hang on.
I got tight.
I think you're interrupted.
Uh-oh.
Oh, nope, you're back. You're just not back on the computer.
Okay.
Sorry.
So anyway, yeah.
All right.
I think Lord wanted me to meet Jim and Sharon B. The Lord wanted me to meet them and has a plan for that. So that's why my back went out. I killed it after that.
Story and
just blew down the trail.
Angela wants to know if you're getting used to all the noise after the quiet.
Nope.
Yeah. No.
Nope, not so much. Our two little ones are super noisy. I don't think you can ever get used to the... I mean, we have people in the local cemeteries coming up out of the graves and walking up telling them, "Shh, guys, we're trying to sleep here." Yeah, it happens all the time. We're used to it now.
Brenda wants to know, after the wedding, did you ever consider not coming back to the trail?
No. I was not quitting. Didn't feel like the Lord was done with me. I mean, I knew I needed to go hike. And I enjoyed it. And I think part of the mental game to be able to successfully through hike the AT, you've got to be in a place mentally where you just are hungry for it. That's all you can think about and do. You have to work hard at it. It can't be something that you're dreading all the time, or else you won't finish. And I was definitely in a place where I was ready to do it mentally, and I wanted to keep going, and I wanted to get it done, but I also wanted to enjoy it more. So yeah, no, there was never a time on the trail when I thought about quitting. Never. Mm-hmm. There were times when it hurt so much I questioned, what in the world am I doing? A couple times when I questioned some things, but never. Yeah. Nope.
All right. Pink ribbon walking woman. I need to shorten that to something. Wants to know, if you were to do another through hike, would you do it Sobo?
Oh, on the AT?
Yeah.
Good question. It would depend on what my goal was. If it was to try to do it faster, it would depend on if I was trying to enjoy it more. Probably not. My first reaction was no. I liked the camaraderie of so many different people as we built up going from the south to the north, and the trail laid out that direction really prepares you physically. Each state prepares you for the next state. All that terrain leads up to New Hampshire and Maine. Yes, you're worn out, but also you've got way more experience. And so I would tend to probably do it Nobo, but man, I wouldn't have any problems doing it Sobo either. The only thing I wouldn't want to do the only way I'd want to do a flip-flop was if I could finish at Katahdin. You know, do it that direction or whatever. I don't know how that would work. But anyway, that was pretty cool, ending at Katahdin. Ending at the southern one, not Blood Mountain, Springer Mountain. Ending at Springer would still be pretty cool too. So yeah, either way.
Okay. Tim Lawson says, you're extremely inspiring. My goal is to through hike when I retire in a few years. My question is, how expensive is it to do the entire trail?
Ouch. So maybe one of the hardest parts about coming back was realizing all the money that we had spent. Like, ouch, it cost way more than I thought. And I didn't keep records on the trail. And poor Halo was busy taking care of me and the kids and coming out and supporting and sending packages and whatever. She didn't keep great records. And so we burned through a little more money than I expected. But I know people can do it way cheaper. The cool thing about the Appalachian Trail is you've got options for going pretty cheap. And you can also spend a lot more and stay at more hostels and more hotels and eat fancier meals. But if you're okay with eating ramen and, you know, cheap food and not staying in hotels or hostels very often, I think I've heard of people doing it for under $3,000. I would expect that $3,000-ish would be pretty much a low end, really assuming you don't have to buy any more gear. That's not counting your gear. It all depends on how you buy your food, if you get food sent, because it's expensive to mail it, but it's expensive to buy at the cheap, you know, at the small state places. Bottom line, if you could figure, you know, $1,000 a month, $6,000, that would be great. You can stay at hostels, eat good food, you know, restaurant food. So anyway, there's other people that have videos on how much it costs to through hike that could answer that better. I don't remember.
Appalachian Trail Tales, Jen and Greg.
I think they break it down per mile better, so other people can help you maybe a little more that way.
Yeah, he did a fabulous job. He would do it at the end of a week, and you can find all those. Kevin is getting the kids to bed, so he said good night.
Kevin
S.
Oh, okay. Good night, Kevin.
Root beer summited on the 22nd.
Oh, cool. You were actually ahead of me 4 days then, so that's why I didn't see you. You were up ahead, so cool. Glad you did it. Congratulations.
All right, Angela wants to know, how important was your family's support, and how did you stay spiritually focused? And she says you have a great wife.
Yeah, I do.
It's Angela Stevens.
So, first part was, how did I?
How important was the family's support?
The family's support. So for those of you that have a family, like, it's hard enough to do it, to be alone and miss your family when they're supportive. If they weren't supportive or didn't come out and see you or whatever, I think it would be impossible. You definitely need that family support. My family couldn't have supported me any better. And so I definitely had an advantage there. Plus they came out so often and stayed so long. It made it better for me. With Poke being 5 at the time and Gigi being 7 or 8 at the time, it would just be too hard to be away from them that young. H2O didn't change that much. He grew about an inch. He didn't change maybe that 2. Much, but yeah, maybe 2. But anyway, having younger kids would be very hard. So the support of the family, very important. How did I stay strong spiritually? You're basically alone with God all day, every day. All night, all day. It was awesome. I read through the whole Bible twice. I read through the New Testament a total of 4 times. So like 2 times more than reading through the whole Bible. I read back through different parts of the Old Testament several times. So I had tons of scripture time, and I had unlimited, uninterrupted prayer time for hours a day. So it was incredible. Plus, all of you viewers encouraging me so much, just spiritually, all the prayers. It wasn't hard to stay fairly strong spiritually out there. Plus, with the name Disciple, I got to talk about Jesus almost every day. So.
And then she asked how I was able to stay strong. And I mean, truly, Angela, it was prayer. I had to make sure, so because I lost my support when he went to the trail, I had to really make sure that I stayed in the Word every morning. It was tough sometimes, especially we had some things happening back here that made it really, really hard. But it made me hit my knees that much more often. And so I was able to, pray a lot. And then it was amazing. Like, I would be having just a terrible struggle with something, and somebody would send me a message privately, hey, just wanted you to know that I've been praying for you today. And so I really think just having really good friends that were praying for us and supporting us that way. But getting to go see him was huge. If I hadn't gotten to go out and see him as often as we did, I don't know that I could have done it. I really don't. I would have been a whole lot more whinier when he was on the phone. There were some times where it was just really hard. But, so anyway, going to see him was huge. Let's see.
What time is it also?
We should probably get close to wrapping up here.
Okay.
Tim Lawson wants to know if you're ever going to live broadcast one of the talks that you do.
Talks?
Yeah, speeches.
Ooh, that's a good good idea. I know some of the churches that will be speaking in will record their, the services. And so maybe we'll put a link up to, I know I'm speaking at church this Sunday, Grace Southern Baptist Church in Verdon, Illinois, and this Sunday morning at 10:30. I don't think they live stream, but they might put it up, right away. I'm sure they do. And I think they videotape and audio record. So anyway, there'll be opportunities, and we can try to keep you updated. But better is to have me just live come and speak wherever you're at or wherever I can. Don't listen to them ahead of time in case I say some of the same stuff. It'll be new to you whenever I whenever I speak there. But anyway, I'm sure there'll be some opportunities to listen.
Yeah,
maybe not live, but they might be recorded.
Yeah, and if we can get it recorded, or if we have a link or something, we'll put it up on the Facebook page.
We'll try to move quick and.
Thank you, Angela. Yep. Thank you very much. All right, last one. We'll end on this one, and then if there are any other questions that y'all have, just type it after the video is
released.
I can't think of what they do. Uploaded. They do something. Yes, Tim, we're still going to come to Trail Days.
Planning on it, and I need to get a hold of you and we can make some plans or whatever. But I'd like to come to Trail Days, planning on that.
Anyway, after it is done processing and it's posted, if you have more questions, just post them on there, or if you have some, you can post them on the Facebook page too, and I'll write them down and we'll get to it. All right, let's end on one of Stan's questions. What is the best piece of advice you could give to a future thru hiker?
All right. Here's I'm going to give you a couple of answers. Number one, do your research on your gear and try to get your pack weight down. I see people that were struggling with heavy packs when they could enjoy it a lot more. So the more experience you get with your gear, the more you realize what you don't need. So get out there, get some shakedown hikes done, and experiment with gear. Do your research. Try to save up and watch for deals and get very good ultralight gear to start with. And you don't have to spend lots of money by replacing gear that you bought early in a hurry for something lighter later. And when you have lighter weight gear, you don't have to slack pack as much, which will save you money on the trail. So it all works out, but good quality ultralight gear really helps you physically, be able to do better. So that's probably one. Number two, if you're in pretty decent shape, have a little bit of an amount of experience with your gear, and you have a strong desire to finish the trail, you can totally do it. So relax from the beginning. Everybody is nervous, and I didn't know if I could do it. Well, really, until I summited the stupid sign, because any moment you could fall down and blow a knee out or break a leg or whatever. So I didn't give myself the benefit of the doubt of, hey, I think I can really do this until the end. I was very cautious. But if I could give one piece of advice, it would be to start out with an attitude of, I know I can finish this. I just have to take 6 months to do it, and I'm going to enjoy the whole way. for me, I rarely was in that zone of being able to enjoy. I was always like apprehensively pushing hard to try to get it done. So best piece of advice is relax and enjoy it and believe in yourself that you can do it and have a good time. Have fun.
All right, on the next Q&A, he'll cover compression sleeves.
Oh yeah, gear.
Are we back? All right, compression sleeves, loneliness on the trail, the packs, the shuttle across the Kennebec. Am I still
Looks
on?
like we lost.
I might have lost. We're frozen.
Does the audio still work?
No, but your phone's about to die. Anyway, so we'll cover the shuttle across the Kennebec, Z-Packs, the pros and cons of the Z-Pack. He'll do a video on that.
Yeah, I want to do some gear reviews, some trail-tested tough videos.
So those are some of the things. And again, post up questions after the video processes and it's posted.
Hey,
otherwise it won't be on there.
Thanks so much for taking time out to come and join us here tonight. Awesome questions. I can't wait to do this again. This is so much fun. I love answering questions. If you are interested in having me come and speak, get a hold of us on Facebook and we can try to book. I can talk to groups, churches, ladies groups, men's groups, whatever. I've already got all kinds of different appointments booked. So thanks for coming along. I so appreciate it. Love you guys so much. Thank you for all the prayers and support. You guys are awesome. You guys made this possible.
All right. See you guys.
See ya.